Welcome to Investing and Trading Live. My name is Scott Watley, and we are glad you are with us. Our show is brought to you by Online Trading Academy here in Denver, and it's always good to have Josh Lilquist with us. Charlie, let me do that again. All right. Welcome to Investing and Trading Live. My name is Scott Watley, and we are glad you are with us. Our show is brought to you by Online Trading Academy here in Denver. Always good to have the president of Online Trading Academy with us, and that is Josh Lilquist. So, Josh, great to have you on your show. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. If I was a dog, my tail would be wagging right now. It's a
Exactly.
good day, and I love talking about the stock market. So bow wow to all the listeners here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And first of all, I tell you what, let's just kind of start with a little bit of update of what maybe you've seen in the market over these last few weeks, and kind of what you feel, even putting your forecaster glasses on maybe a little bit and see what's coming up.
Yeah, the market actually has been really good. I mean, it's always really good, but especially this past week. I believe we talked a little bit about it last week about a supply zone that the S&P 500 was in,
Hmm.
and or we've been talking about that same zone for quite some time. And what happened on was it Tuesday? We had the CPI report come out, which was actually a pretty good report. It was lower than what it was expecting or what it was. And CPI is the consumer price index. What that is, and also so it price really moved up. It gapped up, which means it opened up higher than it closed on Monday, and right into that supply zone that we kept talking about. And what happened? It went straight down off that supply zone. So we had a big, great number for the CPI, and it went up, which is kind of what's expected. But then it went
Hmm.
right back down after that. So it really confused a lot of traders and investors. And that's a lot of the things that we talk about here on the show is how to have strategies where you're not just following the news, but really doing what price tells you to do, and supply and demand, and that's what it's all about in the market. So the S&P 500 has some great moves. Obviously, we had the Fed funds rate on Wednesday, and we know what happened after that. But just some really good movements in the markets. I mean, just looking at oil, oil's been on a steady downtrend for quite some time. We're seeing a little bit of relief at the pumps. The gas prices are a
Yeah.
little bit lower, but the last few days, this past week and the end of last week, it actually has shot up a little bit. So who knows what's going to go on here with oil? One of the things that has been really interesting is gold and silver. Is a lot of people have been using gold and silver over the years as a safe haven as stocks go down, but it
Hmm.
actually has gone down with stocks this past year. But this past, since about September of this year, gold and silver has been on an uptrend. So we're seeing some things change or shift in the markets, which really brings opportunities in the market. So an overall our market update, yes, it's phenomenal. Some markets are going up, some markets are going down, and that's why we need a strategy that's designed to follow them, which is supply and demand at its finest.
Sure. And I was thinking about what you said there when you talk about, people maybe listening to the news and then reacting. And I think, boy, if that's the way you're kind of running your your stock mindset of listening to news and then you're just reacting to that, that could get you in trouble pretty quick, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you actually sent another really good word at the beginning. You said, what is in your forecast glasses?" So many people look at the market as you're talking about with news, and they make their decisions
Hmm.
or their buys and their sells based off of news. Well, just put your forecast glasses on and read a chart. And for our listeners that don't know what a chart is, and it's basically where you get your information from. A lot of people think that to trade and invest, you have to do all this crazy stuff, like look at their earnings reports, do all this research, and then try to formulate an opinion on which way the market goes. Well, that's not how it's really done. That's what the public typically does because they're trained and conditioned to do that. Institutions, think about this. Institutions, they move the markets. They have millions and billions of dollars to do that, but they also have millions and billions of dollars to research certain stocks or whatever it is that they plan on trading and investing. Well, they spend lots of money train people how to do that. And the public thinks, hey, I'm going to go research the stock and I'm going to do that without any training, any skills or expertise. That's why, what we really do at Online Trading Academy is we train people how to trade and invest like the institutions. And how we do that is on a price chart, and that's where you get your information from, your the price action. And it's kind of like reading a story. So as you said, put your forecast glasses on, just put your reading
Hmm.
glasses on and learn how to read that story, build the skills of trading and investing to make smart investing decisions. Then you're no longer creating an opinion, which everybody has one. And that is just a hope for a price to go up or down if you based off if you bought it or sold it. So that's what we really do at Online Trading Academy, is train people how to put their forecast glasses on, read a price chart, and make smart decisions based off of facts and not opinions.
Absolutely. Again, Josh Lilquist is with us, president of Online Trading Academy here in Denver. Um, I know one area that you help folks in with your classes, and we'll tell folks how they can come to a class here in just a minute, but is understanding risk and reward. So I guess my question is this: when we talk about risk, is there, just the term, appropriate risk sometimes required?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, because I'm going to ask you a question, Scott. Without any risk, there's no what?
Reward.
There's no reward. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners probably said that same thing with you. So you have
Hmm.
to take risk in the market, but you have to take appropriate risk, which means small risk. And I think that's what keeps a lot of people out of the market, is they feel like it's very, very risky. Well, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have steps within that strategy, yeah, it is a lot of risk. But if you're able to think about this, if you're listening right now, maybe you're driving your car or maybe in your garage, tinkering around. If you're able to minimize your risk in the financial markets, so have small risk, high reward, and then all you have to do is add odds and probabilities into your trades and investments. Now that's strategy. That's different from guessing in the market. Oh, I hope XYZ stock goes up because I love their shoes or their phones or whatever that may be.
Sure.
So it's a proven strategy that we teach at Online Trading Academy, and you have to have appropriate risk based on what your capital is. And that's a lot of the things that we introduce people to these investing classes that you were talking about just a couple seconds ago that we have local at our academies, is how to take appropriate risk in the market, keep that small, to which really takes out the emotions in the markets, because you have two emotions, you have fear and you have greed. But if you're able to do that and have a step-by-step approach to the market, now you're kind of a robot now. Now you're just following a plan, which is a trade plan, very similar to a business plan. If we get
Sure.
a lot of small business owners that come to our classes here locally, and they probably had a business plan at one point. I mean, quite frankly, if they had to get a loan, they had to have a business plan. So
Hmm.
that's what we train our students at Online Trading Academy, and these are everyday people, that come to these classes. We train them to have an appropriate risk management strategy. Protect what you have first, because if you don't protect it, you can't grow it. And then building from there and having the opportunities. And it's not just all about money. People are looking for more choices. People
Yeah.
want better choices financially, whether they want to go do more fun things or donate or be able to save for retirement. Those are some of the choices that we're seeing people come to these classes that we're going to give away seats to in a little bit, to have those opportunities. And that's what it is, one of those 3 C's we talk about, having more choices.
Sure. Once again, you're listening to Investing and Trading Live. Josh Lilquist, the president of Online Trading Academy here in Denver. So, before we get to telling folks how they can come to a class, so do you find that fear of loss is what has kept a lot of people maybe from the stock market? And just folks that you visit with that come to the class.
Yeah, I believe that is accurate, because fear of loss is a strong negative thing. And if you have anything that can keep people out of doing anything, and it's just that four-letter F word, and it's fear.
Hmm.
And that's what we do at Online Trading Academy, is we try to eliminate that fear of the market. The only reason they're afraid is because they just don't know. Think about anything you've ever done in life. I mean, everybody probably had, a lot of people have kids. And when you teach a child to ride a bike, they are scared to hop on that bike that first time without those training wheels.
Sure.
And you say, okay, get on, because you're never going to learn unless you actually start doing it. but you have to be trained. So the parent is probably walking with them and guiding them with them down that sidewalk or down that street, holding the handlebars or the seat, making sure they don't fall to gain confidence. And that's the same thing in the financial markets. And then what we do at Online Trading Academy is we guide people through their trades and investments with different techniques and strategies and different tools. But then when you do that consistently, that is actually how you build confidence in the financial markets. So yeah, I get it. It's if you don't know how to do something, it will be scary. But if you go
Yep.
and you learn how to do that, which is why we have these free investing classes to introduce people to these techniques and concepts, and then just really having more choices down the line and really building that confidence to get into it. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to put your hard-earned money right away. You want to learn how to do it first. That's why we have these free investing classes.
All right, let's tell folks how they can attend a class with you.
It's really easy. I mean, there's several ways they can do that, but they can call in for some seats right now, or they can text in. So if you're driving, they say it's frowned upon to be texting and driving, so you might want to pull over. So I'm going to give you a phone number first to call, and they can call 888-682-6466. We're a local academy. We got state-of-the-art facility, a couple different, actually 3 different classrooms locally here on a real nice building. And so they can call 888-682-6466 for 2 seats for this class. If they're a texter, hopefully you've pulled over by now. Text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that's for 2 seats. They can text the word investing to the number 210-210. I'm sure most people that are not driving right now, hopefully not driving, probably already have their phone in their right hand. Their pinky is underneath them, and they're probably scrolling through their phone right now. Well,
Absolutely.
just all you got to do is go to the text and just text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's for 2 seats and a financial quick start kit, which will actually help people get started right away. So if you're brand new to the markets, some techniques and concepts on how to get started. But if you've been trading and investing for several years and looking for consistency, concepts on that as well. So text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now.
All right, that sounds good. Now we're going to take a break here in just a moment, and Josh will be back with more of Investing and Trading Live. But Josh, tell us a little bit about what the folks are going to hear today.
We got a big show here this week. We're going to talk a lot about these news announcements that happened this week, the CPI, but a lot about what people are looking for in trading and investing. We meet a lot of people that come to these classes, and just all aspects of life that are coming to these classes. We're going to talk about some of the different things people are looking for. That could be building legacies. People have goals of that, or just having more choices. So we're going to talk about a lot about that, and then the proper assets, and as you said, the appropriate risk to have those opportunities. So stay tuned. We got a real good show coming up here.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, Josh Lilquist with Investing and Trading Live. We'll be right